Well, it appears that France has attacked Russia. Not actually Russia, but Russian drones. Now, on a base on the far western coast of France, there is a secret submarine base. Isn't that secret? Because obviously Russia knew where it was. And it's blurred out by Google Earth. But it's there. And it's on Long, which is, it's like almost like, it looks like a bit like a spit coming out on the western coast of France. Anyway, that's where these nuclear submarines are. Well, Russia decided in their wisdom, which ain't that, how to put it, it's not exactly, no, it's not a lot of wisdom then, let's be honest. Anyway, they decided to fly their drones above this base, invading the airspace of France, and also obviously this military base. So France attacks these drones, and the reports are a little bit, how to put it, some are saying that's not confirmed, some are saying that 6 drones were shot out of the sky, who knows. I'm sure we'll find out at some point. And the thing is, you see, this is a retaliation, well, it's not retaliation, it's defence against Russian incursions with Russian military equipment. Now, we knew this was going to happen, and we also know that the risk of war with Russia is high. Now, most Europeans, but 51% of Europeans believe there is going to be a full-blown war with Russia. About 77% of Polish and 34% of Italians. I wonder why that is. Whatever way you swing on this, the risk is there. And it's something that we have to take note of. And when you have what was, a dominant member of NATO, the United States of America, and now it's pretty much said, yeah, you're on your own. The cowards, that's what I say. It's a cowardly action by the United States. Within that so-called US National Security Strategy document that was published on Friday, I think it was leaked on Thursday. Did they do this on purpose? Anyway, in that, it basically say, you're either with us or you're against us. That's pretty much what it's saying in this document. There is so many pro-Putin talking points and anti-EU, even England, United Kingdom, sorry. It's just like, basically the United States has barely no mates. It's now made itself the enemy of Europe. We now feel threatened by Russia and the United States. So he didn't just say we'll pull them back. He basically said in this document that they could use military force against Europe if you don't abide by our rules and our policy. Tyrant. That's what he is. The orange on shits and pants on is a tyrant. And it ain't for the people of the United States. It's just for the fucking billionaires to make more bloody money. They ain't happy because the European Union has decided to fine Elon Musk 120 million. Well, good. It should be more. He got off light, quite frankly. And a lot what's going on at the moment in the US, but it's like... oh, God, how embarrassing. You must be so embarrassed in the United States. For what happened at the Kennedy Center with Donald Trump and Sylvester Stallone. All those, it looked to me that Sylvester Stallone actually was shunning Trump. It's like he's carrying that cane around with him so he didn't have to shake Trump's hand. That's what it looked like to me. I might be wrong. But he has shown allegiance to Trump in the past, but I don't think Stallone, from what I can tell from what's been said, that he isn't too happy about the way people have been treated in the United States, civilians that is. And why would you be, quite frankly? Unless you're feckin' idiots. Well, unfortunately, a huge amount of people in the United States are idiots. You see, the United States is the only country in the world, right? It's the only place on earth where poor people shun free healthcare, free education, because the rich people tell them to. You see the madness here, eh? It's there, isn't it? It's setting in deep, it is. The people in the United States who vote for this shit are more than just indoctrinated by those with money, indoctrinated by the platforms that they keep using. Get away from X. Get away from Facebook. You're compromised. If you're on Facebook, X, or any of them kind of platforms, you're compromised. Look at X, for instance, when Elon Musk thought it was a great idea to tell everybody or show everybody where the IPs are based. Yeah, Russia, you name it, China, and all these other places with fake accounts. I think Elon Musk might have paid a little bit too much for that platform, that idea, with all those bot accounts. I'm finding this deeply, deeply concerning, obviously, because everything is escalating against Europe. And we seem to be attacked on both flanks now. And unfortunately, I don't see any way out of this now. I don't see an answer. I don't see it. I think the only thing we can do now as individuals is actually push back and protect ourselves. Make sure that we have got what we need, because so much, if there is a war, and it could be, and we're not going to have the United States on our side, which means they ain't on your side, because you can't have a profitable US without European Union member states. It just ain't going to happen. You don't have the means, unless you're going to attack Europe and take over that means, if you know what I mean. Well, we will fight back, and there'll be nothing left. There'll be nothing to take. It's just how it is. Been there before. Okay, before my time, but, I'm sure there will be, if this happens, we'll be here again. And if we can't trust the US, that's it, you're done for. The US economy is propped up by every other nation using US services. It just is. We'll no longer buy your equipment. We'll no longer buy your military equipment. It's already started happening. We've already started the boycotts. Now, remember Canada? Oh, yeah. Your closest trading partner in the US. Look how much damage they've caused to your economy. Just in tourism alone, let alone everything else. And Mark Carney, was it Mark Carney who says, who cares? It's just a detail. A detail. That's making Trump look this feckin' small. If Canada can do it, and they can pull this off, and I believe they can, because the changes they're making, you're seeing growth. You're seeing growth in the job market, and obviously that's a sign. Whereas in the United States, your job market is shrinking by the second. Nobody's going to have a feckin' job at this rate. Then how are you going to fund the United States economy? Now, I feel for those who don't want this. What's going on at the moment? If they're embarrassed by it, they're ashamed of their country. They don't feel it's what they would consider as being American. Trump's version of American is not American. It's Nazism. We saw it with Elon Musk, didn't we? NATO, there's a fail there. And the fail is that we have relied too much on the United States. That's where Trump is right. I agree. We should not have relied on the US. The thing is, the US has had leaders that at least we had common ground. And twice, a fascist has been voted in. A KKK. They're now going after black people. US citizens. Put them in Alcatraz. There's 2 places in the US where torture is apparent, according to the Amnesty International, and I don't have no reason to disbelieve them, that torture is being perpetrated on human beings. They've been put in these turtle suits and shit like that, so they can't move. They've been on deportation flights, literally wrapped up. They call it the wrap. And while they're in this wrap, there's reports of, leaked reports of ICE agents beating them up while they're in the wrap, kicking them and shit. This isn't normal behaviour. This is the behaviour of a tyranny. To me, I'm sorry, but the United States is dead to me. And it's dead to many Europeans now. All this stuff that we are seeing now, we are looking over the water there and we're saying to ourselves, we don't want to be a part of that. We're going to push back. And this is not, like I said before, like I'll say it again, those of you who didn't want this, fuck's sake, just get out. I know, crikey, every time I say that, I have people in the comments, they say, well, I can't, I'm disabled. Oh, well, I haven't got any money, I can't get out, I'm stuck. What can I do? Fucking hell, it brings a tear to my eye, it really does. And it's like, it's just so sad. What has happened to the United States? And it ain't necessarily Trump we've got to be worried about. Trump is just laying the groundworks. That's all he's doing. He's the facilitator. When it comes down to it, once Trump is out of the way, he's popped his clogs and maybe he's had a spontaneous cancalism with a bit of luck, and bits of him fly about everywhere, there'll be somebody else take over who will probably be worse than Trump. Not somebody who you could warm to. Because we're not be funny, we all find Trump funny. Because he's an idiot. He says the most ridiculous stuff. He's incoherent. We can't believe our eyes what we're seeing, or what is actually happening to the United States. And the words that come out of his mouth, none of it makes any bloody sense to a normal person. Now, while this is all going on, you've got Modi. He's popping off to bloody Russia and having conversations with... They're basically allies now. They're big-time allies. That's cool because my camera's actually steamed up a little bit inside. I need to sit in front of the light so I don't blur so much. It's been very cold, you see, and now it's warm today, so it's like, steaming up. But President Modi's gone over to negotiate with Russia. They're basically allies. So, the India's pretty much said F you to the United States. And that's all Trump's doing. Trump isn't making anything better, he's making it worse. And now you've got China. China's been building up its military campaign on the border of India. They ain't happy what's going on with Russia, even though that they show themselves as one of the allies of Russia. China doesn't want war. It wants what it wants. It wants Taiwan. But it doesn't actually want war. Everything for China is not just about expansionism or get the empire back, what have you. It's about economic gain. Everything's about economic gain, and that's just China. It's always been like that. It is literally the oldest empire, mate. It's been about for quite a long while. As China, they know what they're fucking doing. I'm not sympathising with China, but if anyone thinks that we could fight a war against China, they're absurd. They've got too many people, too much tech, and they have the manufacturing base to just outproduce everyone regarding military equipment and tech. We wouldn't stand a chance against China. You know, we need to keep them on side. Russia, on the other hand, has shown themselves as rather weak in many ways. Yes, they've got their nuclear missiles, but what they haven't got is, well, the people for a start, because they're blown up like over 1 million of their own people in Ukraine. They thought they're going to do that in 3 days. And it was at Georgia they did in 5 days. You had, just the other day, ex-Russian military commander criticised Russia's intelligence regarding Ukraine, saying they as far as their marks are concerned, he says they got a fail. God, it's really steaming up my camera, isn't it? So, yeah, it's just, where do we go from here, though? Where do we go from here? So we've got Russia's attack in Europe. Europe is sort of like stepping up to some degree, France especially. You've got the UK saying they want are going to release Russian assets to to support Ukraine. The United States is saying, "Oh no, you can't do that." And so is Belgium regarding Europe. They vote on it. Belgium vetoed the vote on the Russian assets being used for Ukraine. They should bloody well just do it anyway. Politics should be a lot simpler than this. It shouldn't be about appeasement, because that's what Trump is doing. He's appeasing to Putin. It should be more straightforward. Obviously, everything has to be relatively insular. You're looking at the needs and the goals for your own country, and then you basically use other countries to your benefit, you know? And then they do the same to you. You have a mutual benefit. But as things stand, it's all like me regarding the most powerful militaries out there, including China. I don't know. It's just getting crazy. Work camps are basically popping up all over the place in the United States. This is like 1930s Germany, what's going on over there. And you've got the Senate Bill 72, I think it is. And this was in Mississippi, where basically undocumented migrants go to prison for life with no parole, no nothing. Just, that's it, you're locked up. No way of getting out, unless the governor says so. And then you've got, I think Missouri are doing the same as well now. They're trying to pass a bill for that. A Senate bill. The United States has lost, you know, don't you? And if you ever got the opportunity to get out, I know some people say, I'm going to hold fast and I'm going to fight. I'm sorry, the only way you're going to fight this lot is actually get a little bit, how to put it, a bit more aggressive. Because as it is, it's not working. Peaceful protest is not working, okay? It's showing resolve, it's showing how you feel, but these people don't care. They're literally trying to make anyone within this national security strategy, anyone who doesn't think like Trump or the regime or what their idealisms are for the United States, are going to get locked up. Plain and simple. Be put on the register and locked up. Not today necessarily, or tomorrow, but at some point. And this leads me to think that there'll be no vote. There'll be no elections, or the elections will be rigged. Anyway, you tell me what you think before I blabber anymore, because it's just... Trump has caused all this. You see, if we didn't have Trump or the United States sticking its oar in, we would have upped our game with Ukraine and pushed back Russia. It's always been the United States. It's always, you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, I'm telling you, they can't dictate to us what we can and cannot do. Not anymore, we're not listening. Unless your name is Mark Rutte, by any chance. Anyway, it's time for me to go. I am going to Work on my camper because we're going to be taking the camera out very soon. I'm going to get this camera into some warmth because it's steamed up inside and I don't like the idea of that. No, as you can see, everything's gone misty. So that's not very good. And it's my favourite camera. Anyway, it's time for me to go. So I say toodly no, but please be boop that like button, maybe subscribe to the channel, little bell icon, because then you get one fuzzy feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video. And yes, it's all feckin' fecked up, that it is. And if you want to support the channel, do a Patreon or buy us coffee, links down below. Toodaloo.